Oh boy, all right, there's a lot to unpack here, and honestly, I was gonna say something about this last night. I saw this tweet at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and oh man, I had a lot of thoughts, but I was half asleep in bed, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna deal with this tomorrow when I get up. So we have a tweet from the Henford Hen. Again, huge shout out to the Henford Hen for keeping Twitter up to date with Sims news. This is kind of crazy, okay? The Henford Hen tweets a brand new job listing, a career listing for The Sims, and more specifically, Project Renee. They actually have that listed here. There are multiple locations that they're looking to have this position filled in, and even say that this position can be remote. There are a handful of responsibilities that they are looking for this position. In the second bullet point, guys, they write, own pricing of all content in this free to enter game, ensuring we have an optimal pricing and content architecture. Provide guidance to content teams on in-game content needs to meet player demand. So confirming here in this job listing for Project Renee at Maxis or Electronic Arts, whatever, that Project Renee or The Sims 5 is going to be free to play at launch. This is such a huge concern. Obviously, The Sims 4 is free to play now, but at first, at launch, and for many years, it wasn't. This just kind of almost confirms that if a game like this is going to be free to play from its launch, that probably means we are going to be getting an insane amount of DLC, and who knows, it might even be really expensive too. We know how much EA likes their money. They're a business, they gotta make money somehow, so they're probably gonna put anything and everything behind a paywall, guys. And I'm assuming they're going to milk things out as much as possible for as long as possible in order to actually make a profit, you know? Since they're not gonna be earning any money on the base game, it seems, from this job listing here. This is definitely a huge concern. I'm just really worried that EA is going to kill off this franchise. I am definitely very worried about it, and I have been worried with The Sims 4 for a while. Just the lack of hype and packs, and I just feel like players aren't really excited for new content anymore. And some of you guys made some really good points in the comments of some previous videos of mine and in some previous streams. Like, there's just a trust issue between the players, between the customers and EA and The Sims, because, you know, packs launch glitchy, broken, buggy, the packs are underwhelming, there isn't much gameplay that's being offered. It's kind of a mess, to be honest, and there's a lack of trust. So going forward with The Sims 4, the more content that's being added to the game, the buggier it's going to be. Honestly, I can just see that trust continuing to break between customers, players, and of course EA. But how will that even carry over into Project Renee if we're starting as a free-to-play game that's probably gonna have tons and tons of paid DLC, and they're probably gonna start putting things behind DLC that they've never even put behind DLC before if this is gonna launch free to play. So many questions. The third bullet point here says create a promotion schedule and plan that fairly meets the needs of our players to maximize long-term revenue and our ability to flex to meet the needs of a dynamic business. So I guess kind of confirming what I think could happen, long-term revenue and maximizing that. So are they gonna milk Project Renee out for just as long as Sims 4, and are they gonna put even more stuff behind a paywall than they have done with The Sims 4? Things that could be or should be in the base game being paid stuff? There's so many questions, like how complete is Project Renee or The Sims 5 going to be at launch? Especially if it's free to play, makes me think there's gonna be a lot less in there, but who knows? There is a bullet point here that says advocate a nimble live service culture of test, learn, iterate across platforms, PC, mobile, and consoles. Collaborate with cross-functional teams to develop hypotheses and execute on monetization initiatives in a fast-paced environment. So talking about live service culture and monetization. So the first thing that I'm thinking, of course, this isn't confirmed or anything, but my first thoughts are, oh my gosh, is this gonna be like SimCity? Is this gonna be required to be online to play at all times? I really hope not, but like, it's starting to sound like how mobile games work. Oh, I'm just hoping The Sims 5 does not operate like a mobile game, please. Like, obviously we know that we're gonna be able to play on multiple platforms. You know, you could start a house on your your computer, you can finish it on your phone. They're gonna connect in that sort of way. That's something that we already knew. But if they make this a thing where you have to be online at all times, that is gonna be kind of crazy. And also, it sounds like they're working on some sort of system to be able to monetize and sell things through an online system, which makes it sound like a mobile game. Like, there's so many questions that I have with this. What exactly does this mean, you know? I feel like I could be interpreting it one way and maybe you guys see it another way. A lot of people are actually saying that something like this with the base game being free to play is not that big of a deal because, you know, we already have DLC and we already have microtransactions, but for them launching a game free to play just means that the microtransactions and the nickel and diming is just going to be so much worse. Like I mentioned, they're probably gonna put things that they have never put behind a paywall. It's just truly giving me Sims Mobile on the phone. That's what this is reminding me of. I just really, really hope that this is not the direction they're going in because I do not think this is gonna work out. If you guys have ever played The Sims Mobile before, you know what I'm talking about when I tell you the insane amount of microtransactions. It's like kind of the base of the game. Like the game revolves around that. It's kind of not surprising that they're doing this though. Like it sucks, but like we kind of saw this coming. I mean, with The Sims 4, they introduced game packs. We've never had game packs before in the Sims franchise. We've only had expansion and stuff packs. And then they also start introducing kits, which is the ultimate microtransaction. So honestly, kind of not even surprised. It's just going to get worse from here. I want you guys to share your thoughts on this below. What do you think this could be? If you think it's a good thing or a bad thing and all of that. But gosh, all I can say after reading this is I am really rooting for Paralyze. I am really rooting for Paralyze. I'm really rooting for Life by You, even though not the biggest fan of the characters and animations and stuff. I'm hoping they take the time to polish and improve that, but I feel like the fate of Life Simulation is really left in the hands of other developers and in other games because I am just really worried that EA or Maxis or whoever is just really gonna drop the ball with The Sims and just kill it off. And I would hate to see that, you know? Look at what happened with SimCity. Absolutely dropped the ball and they lost it. And now Paradox kind of owns the city planning thing, you know? They have City Skylines and City Skylines 2 is coming out and it looks better than ever. And what if another company comes along and does the same thing to Life Simulation? Share your thoughts below, guys. I love you, take care, so long, and happy simming.